While Captain America is learning the modern world, he comes across a mysterious foe from past history known as the Winter Soldier. This is Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
They joined S.H.I.E.L.D. to protect people.
Captain, to build a better world sometimes means tearing the old one down. And that makes enemies.
And it's a price I'm willing to pay.
You told me not to trust anyone. This is how it ends. Everything goes.
Looks like you're giving the orders now, Captain.
Damn right.
Hi, welcome to the Budget Review. As always, I'm your host, Kenny, and Julian's back. We went to see... and Steve's here, too.
I was a third option, listen.
We went to see Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the new Marvel movie, and we found Julian on the way. He was just wandering
He was
around.
just on the street, and we're like, hey, Julian, buddy, you remember us?
Yeah,
You left us, so come on, come.
I'm back.
We welcomed him back with,
Yeah.
you can say open arms.
We'll start with Julian with the first question. This is an action movie and with comedy. So what do you think of the action?
The action... The action was really good. The choreography for the fight scenes was absolutely fantastic. Very fast paced, very well done. Especially, definitely improved for Chris Evans in this as Captain America. He definitely went all out. It was awesome. The action was very fun to watch.
Yeah, and he also said, what was it, Jimmy Fallon the other night, like, he did parkour and, like, I think gymnastics also to
Yeah, you
train.
can see that.
Yeah, you could definitely see how much work and dedication you put into fighting in this movie. It reminded me, I know you've seen it, I don't know if you've seen it, the Bourne films.
I've seen a little bit.
It reminds me of those fights.
Yeah.
There was maybe some shaky cam, but not enough to detract from...
Not where you're noticing, oh, this is shaky cam.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about, in the action we discussed Chris Evans, and everyone seems to be praising him. But this had Robert Redford in a little bit of a different role from him. And Steve, you were very excited about this.
Yeah.
How did you think he did?
Because this was a political thriller, and the king of that is Robert Redford, who's probably one of the greatest actors of all time. Also probably like one of the first blockbuster type of actors, if you will. And just seeing him take on this role, especially just being in a Marvel film in the first place, was ecstatic. I every time he was on the screen, you felt his presence, and it shows a lot about his work.
Yeah, I was very excited to see Robert Redford in a Marvel film, especially. He does lots of previous iconic films. Everybody knows who he is. He's huge in Hollywood, and I'm glad to see that he was involved in a superhero film like Captain America, and he did such a wonderful job. So I very much enjoyed him and what he did in his role. So,
Since we discussed Chris Evans and Robert Redford, this also had a very strong supporting cast, at least in my opinion. I want to see what everyone else thinks. You got Scarlett Johansson, Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, and Samuel L. Jackson. So what did you guys think of their performances?
the whole cast, I'll say it again, like I said for Chris Evans and Robert Redford, they all did fantastic jobs. Anthony Mackie, right?
Yeah,
I just want to make sure. Falcon, he played awesome as Falcon. Awesome in the whole movie. It was absolutely cool to see him play as him. Scarlett Johansson never fails. She's awesome too.
And hot.
And hot, of course. And overall, everybody did a wonderful job.
Yeah, the acting in this movie, to me, was top-notch. I didn't have a problem with anyone. And what I appreciate, Anthony Mackie was definitely a very welcome addition to the MCU. And it had some diversity. And you also felt the how much he looked up to Captain America and how much he respected him and Black Widow and other peers of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury a lot more things to do in this movie.
Yeah.
And they definitely went to Black Widow's past, which is fun and great for character development. And yeah, the supporting cast was all fine by me.
Definitely went in depth in this film more with the certain characters, like you said, especially Black Widow. It definitely went into it. That's what I really liked about this film.
So from what we were saying, it seems like Anthony Mackie was a standout of the supporting cast, and his character, the Falcon, at least in my opinion, was very welcome. I'm excited to see more of him, and he definitely played a character that you could tell that there was a tremendous amount of respect for Captain America, and in a way he looked up to him, but not in a child looking up to an adult. In a, I wish that could be you because I was a soldier and that's what I hope to be. Being part of the Marvel Universe, this also had a lot of comedy, so how did the comedy fit in this?
I know there's a lot of complaints of Iron Man 3 and Thor Dark World for humor. This perfectly balanced the comedic moments and the serious moments. And I think maybe besides Iron Man 1, this might be the most serious and grounded MCU film. And I thought everything was mixed well, especially with Anthony Mackie's character, Falcon, who had a lot of comedic moments, but none of it felt like, it all felt natural. It felt like it was good in the story, and it didn't detract you.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, like you said, the movie definitely is darker, but it definitely fit that comedy well. I was really surprised how well they put it all together, especially for certain scenes. You know, they put in a little joke there, but we got the little laugh in that. But they did it so good, like you can't really say it was bad because they did the jokes. So it's not really jokes, a comedic scene. It was just pretty good. I really liked the way they did it. Like you said, it was balanced. It wasn't so out of place.
And the interactions with Black Widow and Captain America were also really good. And I'm happy they teamed up because they kind of like two different moral codes. They have like different ones, and it's interesting.
They even have a scene where they basically mention the codes.
And it's really nice to see them two work together, but they don't really stand by everything.
And the way I view it is, it's a dark movie, but it doesn't feel dark. It was like so weird. It's like it's this thriller type storyline where if it wasn't a superhero movie, it could still work if it was like the CIA working against itself, and that would work. So it was like that was like really surprising and like really well done.
Like this was more than a superhero film.
It was definitely
this was a very smart made film by the Russo brothers who
did a great job.
They do Community, but like this is the first actual legit movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty surprising.
And Steve, you were mentioning Black Widow. And Black Widow's a character who seems like there's a lot of people who either love her or hate her character in the Marvel Universe.
The only person I know that hates her is Alec.
Yeah. Don't know what he's talking about.
I've never met anyone else.
But when I watched this, it seemed like if you watch this movie, you can't not like her. It's like you have to see someone, you have to see how useful she is. Like, do you agree with that?
And it's a good thing though that Scarlett Johansson, no matter what, did an amazing job.
And she's
as
Black Widow.
Yeah.
I thought she did a great job. It was great to watch her do her role in that movie, especially for Captain America. We saw her in the previous other two films.
Yeah, I remember too.
And we see her in this one. I'm glad to see that we get to see more of her.
Yeah, because in the Avengers, if people remember, Loki kind of tries to screw around her, and he reveals some of her past. And in this movie, they kind of touch on that a little bit too. And I heard Avengers Age of Ultron is going to touch a lot of all their past. So you're definitely going to know more all about them.
So let's do one more question, starting with Julian. We'll deal with the direction and the cinematography all at once. So how do you feel that went?
Cinematography, I'll say first. Definitely great job with the cinematography. I like the angles. It's not so shaky, and you see certain movies, right, where if it was like somebody talking to each other, usually
it moves a little bit.
It wasn't. It was very smooth. It wasn't so, shaky, like I said. But the action was perfectly shot. It was cut really quick. It was really good altogether. The direction was very good. I didn't have any problems with that either. That was really good.
You pretty much touched. I mean, he doesn't know what cinematography is. Now he's an expert at it.
Cinematography.
Different day. The Russo brothers, like I mentioned earlier, they were known for TV work, and since it was their first big budget film, and it took Captain America, my favorite.
That's a big budget to start with.
I was very happy they came out with a very good product and pretty much a great movie.
It's a huge success. It's a huge success for them too.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I know they were training for a third one. It's already legit.
I really have nothing else to add about it. I just point out the irony in the fact that earlier today we were just reviewing Bad Words, and it was Jason Bateman's directorial debut, and we were talking how great it was that he starts out with like a small movie, and then we're talking about the Russo brothers basically starting out with a massive undertaking and doing it
Funny how
successfully.
movies work.
It's amazing.
And when it comes to cinematography, all I can really mention is that with Captain America, you really don't expect a lot of high flying scenes, but with Falcon, you really have to handle those flight scenes really well. And I really enjoyed the scenes of him flying around, especially in the big, massive fight scene that is in the trailer. So it's not really a spoiler that it happens.
Oh,
Action movie with fighting. We'll do one more question, starting with Steve because he has to mention the Winter Soldier.
Okay, whatever.
So, what did you think of the Winter Soldier?
The best comparison I've said after the movie is that you compare him to the Terminator. Doesn't do a lot of talking, but he causes chaos and havoc, and he gets the mission and job done.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Captain America go head to head, and it's great to see.
The Winter Soldier, he brought the badass into this film. It was awesome to watch him. He looked so. How to say this? He looked like as if he was indestructible at a certain time. It was really awesome.
Yeah, I have to agree with that stuff, and I like to point out that it was nice that even though his name's in the title, it's Captain America: The Winter Soldier, he wasn't like the main driving force of the plot. It was
he's more of like the Terminator. He just causes.
Yeah.
He's like a roadblock.
Yeah, and the big plot point with him doesn't happen until like more than halfway through, which I like. Because a lot of times they want to rush that because they want to make the big plot twist thing happen, and you see it coming. Like, I didn't see it coming. I thought that was at the end of the movie, and then it's like, oh, I know, there's still another half coming. Yeah. And that was really nice. So we'll start with Julian. Final thoughts and final rating.
Final thoughts for this. Definitely led to my expectations. It was a great film. I'm very excited for Avengers: The Age of Ultron. Definitely brought up that hype. I give this a 4.6.
I give this a 4.75. I agree with Julian. Especially, this is my favorite Marvel solo film. Avengers is still number one. But if you're a Marvel fan or a Captain America fan or like MCU fan, whatever, just go see it.
You better go see it.
There's really nothing out right now.
Till next month.
What's that next month? Not that shitty Godzilla movie.
Oh, come on.
Already, hasn't even come out yet, and we're already fighting about the review. Yeah, I have to agree. This was definitely a movie where it's like you go and you don't want it to end. You keep hoping that it's going to be longer. Like, there are some movies where you see like, okay, this is taking forever. When's the end? This is one movie where it's like, no, don't end yet. I want to see more. I want to see where this is going. What else can they throw in? And that was, if you're a Marvel fan, definitely go see it. I would say definitely go see it if you just want to see a movie, because there's not much out there. And I also gave it a 4.75. I actually gave it first, and I was going to say 7.6, but I was afraid he was going to throw something at me.
Jake was going to be very useful for once on the set.
So, as you can see, we're all wearing Marvel shirts. Jake's wearing a bow tie. Go see the movie.